What's going on, everybody? So it is 2024, and boy, did 2023 not really go the way I expected it to go. We're going to jump into that and kind of tell you exactly what happened, what changed, and what we're looking to do moving forward. So, without further ado, a look into my life as a trader. All right, so here is my trading journey in equities. I know you can't see what's right behind me, but it's just a bunch of chop before I actually discovered the way to trade profitably, which is what you can see here in the beginning of 2021. Well, none of this really matters. I just wanted to kind of show you what my P&L curve looked like going into this year, because I didn't want to show you just what it looked like this year and make it look like I was just a giant failure from the get. Because I feel like I had something going, and then all of a sudden it just felt like it wasn't there anymore. And that's kind of what I want to get at here by showing you exactly what was going on. So I didn't trade past this point, so this will be the entire year. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, the beginning of January had a couple decent trades, got up around 250 bucks, and then we just had a really bad couple trades in a row. And from there, we did have a pretty decent recovery right after, almost getting back up towards even, and then we just straight up chopped for almost the entire year. As you can see, this is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, right there, September, October, and there you go. So that was the last trade I took, was actually on my mom's birthday. But as you can see, it was just a bunch of chop, and I don't know exactly what was happening, because that long P&L curve you saw going up from 2021 and 2022, I was essentially trading the exact same way. Why would I trade any different? And I took this big loss, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to keep on trucking, because anytime I've taken a decent loss, I've done that in the past, and we would recover. And as you can see, it was working really well for 2021, 2022. But for some reason, 2023, it was a little bit of a slower year. For some reason, everything that I touched just didn't want to seem to work. And if it did for a little while, we would always end up coming back to those bigger losses, and it would take everything we gained back plus a little bit. So as you can see, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, just straight chop. And then we started to go down towards the bottom, and it just felt like we were bleeding out. So what happened when I stopped trading here? Well, I decided to maybe look into futures. There was two reasons. I was bleeding my PDT account. So throughout 2021, 2022, I was actually withdrawing money and paying some bills. We went on vacation, like stuff like that. I was actually taking money out. So I never really had more than $30,000 in my account. Well, throughout this year, between fees, paying for the platform, the data, the commission, like the fees as in commissions, etc., as well as how much I was down, I was getting close to PDT. And I think I was around $26,400 when I decided to make the change. So what I did is I took the 25,000 and I switched it over to Robinhood. I actually got a little bonus for going straight from Interactive Brokers to Robinhood, as well as I'm getting 5% interest on that money while it's in Robinhood, the Robinhood account. However, the extra little bit of money is what I set aside to try futures. So as you guys have noticed, if you've been following me for a while, I've been trading futures. So if we go over to the current dashboard, which is what I've been tracking, what you're going to see is the current account that I have now started trading with futures. And I would love to go over a couple of examples, which I will here in a second after I get through everything, of how I am trading now. But it took me a while to try and figure out a profitable system with futures. And is it profitable long term? I don't know yet. I'm not going to sit here and say that it is. But right now, I have found a way to mitigate risk as well as keep my win percentage up and possibly have a profitable edge. So with that, it took a while to get there. I tried to trade like I was trading stocks and futures. It worked for a little while, then it didn't. I tried trading the way I saw others trade. Didn't work, plain to say. And then I decided to just nail it down and try to take what I knew from stocks and from what I've seen from the couple months that I was trading futures to see if I could come up with my own edge. And I think that I have. And that's currently what you're seeing here. If we scroll down, you'll see that this is over a month of trades at this point. December 6th, we're coming up on a month on the 6th, and 110 trades, and we're doing pretty well. We're still in the eval account, but I'm going to keep trading it the exact same way and see what happens. But these accounts should obviously last a lot longer. I know a lot of people have problems with the trailing drawdown on these prop accounts. And again, if you have any questions with this, feel free to ask. I don't want to dive too deep into all of that. This is more of like my journey through 2023 into 2024. So I'm going to keep it on track. But if you do have any questions about any of what I'm talking about, feel free to jump in the Discord. You can jump on one of the live streams. I'm live every morning. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me somewhere, and I'll answer your questions. I've always been there to answer. It's kind of what I do. I've always been transparent from the very get, and hopefully this is part of that for you guys. So what is going on with the 25,000 in Robinhood? That's the last thing I want to talk about, and then I'll give you some examples of my trades with futures. So I started off with, I think it was like 25,200 or so. And as of today, we're sitting right around 26,200. So we're up about $1,000 on that. I started selling options. I'm not buying options. I'm not Wall Street betting my money with options. I'm taking a much more risk-adverse approach to options. And by selling options, again, this is a whole different side quest if you want to partake. Feel free to ask me questions on stream, Discord, or Twitter. Not going to get into that now, but selling options with that 25K that I had, doing pretty well. These are some leap options, which is actually buying options, but it's very long-term. Leap stands for long-term expiration options, essentially. And down here, real quick, you'll see the interest that I'm getting paid. Since I put it in, I've already earned $142 in interest at that 5% rate. So can't really complain about that. Even if I'm not using it, it's just sitting there collecting 5% interest. So with that said, let's go over here to the charts, and I'll kind of go over some of my trades just from today to give you an example of how I'm trading this. So if we scroll in, what I'm doing is I'm essentially looking for a move to the downside or the upside. I'm looking for it to get extended, put in a low, and then have a clear top of a candle, in this case, to get in. So imagine this candle came down, it tried to come up on this next candle, tried to go lower, failed, and then went higher, because that's what happened. That's why this looks a little weird. But I essentially am putting my order above the top of that candle and then my stop below the low of that previous candle. So I always have a stop loss on every trade that I take. And that's the key to this. That's the key to what I was missing when I first started trading futures. I always will have a stop. Here's a great example. I'll just show you this one. I didn't take this trade because it never happened. But say we get this big candle down. It tries higher, right? Puts in a top, comes down lower, fails to go lower, comes back up. I would then put an order at the top of this candle looking for 15 ticks, or depending on the time of day. I usually am going for 15 ticks, which is $75 if it works, and I'm risking the bottom of this candle. So my stop loss is always going to be a little different as far as the price, but it's usually around 1 to 2, 1 to 3 RR is what I'm looking to get. And that's essentially the trade I'm looking for. Now, it can happen the other way. Say it comes up, puts in this candle, tries to go higher, fails, and then comes lower. What do you see here, right? And we get that move down, 15 ticks. That's what I'm looking for. It happened again here. Big move down. And if you go watch the highlights from today's stream, I actually had my order sitting here, got a bad slippage fill. And had I not got the slippage, my order of 15 ticks would have gotten filled right 2 ticks above where I actually got filled on the long position. And I ended up getting stopped out because it actually moved my stop loss with it, because I had already put my stop loss in below the lows. So right there, you can see the difference in where my fill was on my long versus where I actually got filled. It ended up being 10 tick slippage, I think. So that was a little unfortunate because we would have started the morning 4-4, but it doesn't matter. It just shows you what I'm looking for. Same thing here. Big move down, came down, tried lower, failed. We put our order out right above that candle, looking for the 15 ticks, and we got it. That's it. That's literally my strategy in a nutshell. I was about to shut it down a little bit earlier, but we did end up getting one more trade here. It was the same thing. It actually came down, and on this green candle here, it put in a high, came down lower, failed. I put my order right above it. It came up, filled us, and then actually ended up going lower. And that's the beauty of this. I'm not trying to predict which way the market's going. I'm just looking for that quick little push based off of a bottom being put in and an attempt to move back the other way, or top and move to go lower. And it happens a lot if you really look at it. I just look for the overextended moves because the odds are in your favor. And this is something I learned from stocks as well as just watching futures over the last few months, that it does tend to get more of a pullback the more extended it gets. So in this case, it wasn't that extended, but you can see decent move up, puts in a candle, tried to go higher, fails, and you get that move down. I mean, even over here, big move down, fails to go lower, put your entry above this candle, and you get the move higher. And sometimes it's going to put you through the ringer, but that's why you always have that stop loss in. And that's it. That's my strategy in a nutshell, and that's what I'm going to be looking to do moving forward. That is what we've been using for our strategy that we have going on over here. So if I come back over to this, all these trades that you see on here are that exact type of trade. And yeah, that's my 2023 recap. Hopefully it wasn't too long, and hopefully you guys are coming along for the journey, and hopefully you guys are finding edge and profitability and can continue that into 2024. And I look forward to talking to you guys again. Discord, Twitter, find me on the live streams when I'm live every single morning when the market's open, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.